Greetings, my fellow Scotsmen. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Clanfolk, Episode 2, Highland Hovel. And taking a look at our task list, we have a hunting task, a crafting task, 4 gather, 1 build, 1 farm, 1 cook, 1 close, 5 lumber, and 23 haul queued up. So that gives you a good indicator of what people are doing and what they have to do. And I'm up to 2 days of food, so I've cooked enough eel to not starve tonight. Alright, question for you. What building should I make first? Large, shared bedroom? A food pantry? A kitchen? Storage, or viewer suggestions? It's up to you. Whatever you think I should prioritize, I'm happy to do so. There is a possibility, Red the Reckless, to start a giant blaze, and there's actually jobs that allow you to fight fires. And you can purposely set fire to areas. So for instance, if I wanted to clear this entire field of grass, I could set it on fire if I wanted to, but it would increase the fertility of the soil underneath it, but it would be also very destructive and be a very difficult fire to contain. So if you have a small little swath of grass like this, you could set this on fire with relatively low risk, because it's not likely to spread around to nearby areas. Whereas if I set fire in a giant grassland field, oh my god, is that going to be bad. It's going to be uncontrollable. Kadeth, thanks for all the gifted subs. Between you and Bash, what a stream already. Cheers. And all you new subs are going to be eligible for future characters. Alright, there we go. I have unlocked the kiln. So a kiln allows me to use clay and charcoal to make pottery, tiles, and bricks. Very extremely useful building materials. This kiln is going to require more stones than I currently have. So I will queue up a gather stone task here. Cutest sub badge of all time. Thank you. I wonder where I got my inspiration. Marauder and Red Dragons, thank you for the resub and the community gift as well. There you go, buddy. And sleeping outside comes with a penalty. Having your sleep disturbed comes with a penalty. And then pooping publicly comes with a penalty. All of these sort of negative things here, you definitely want to try to avoid if possible. Obviously, really early game, I don't have much of a choice. You know, I'm very desperate. We're sleeping on the ground underneath the stars, and that's the best we can do, at least for now. So it looks like shared bedroom is favored to win here pretty considerably. Got it. Come on, cooking fire. There is heat proximity, so you can be warmer closer to fires, even if it's not contained inside. So, shared bedroom. Let's think about this. I am going to lay out... I'm going to use the gravel path as a plan here. So my kitchen is going to be this size. And I do want the kitchen to connect to the bedrooms. So I'm going to lay out daub walls here that share between kitchen and bedroom. To limit the amount of walls that I need to build. So in the middle here, we'll have a door into the kitchen, eventual kitchen. I'm not building that quite yet. And the door I'm going to make right now is just a straw door. And then if I lay down this area, the bedrooms, most people, I think the exception here would be Scorpius, do not like to sleep in the light. He's afraid of the dark, so he doesn't like to sleep in the dark. But most people are disturbed by light while they're sleeping. So I'm also going to design this bedroom to contain a hearth in order to keep them heated, but not have it bleed the light in. So let's see. I'm going to move. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I'm going to move this hearth a little bit. There. Let's get rid of that plan. So this is the layout of the bedroom. And let me build a shared bedroom. Now there's a lot of benefits for having a private bedroom later on. And maybe at some point we'll have a vote about building a private bedroom, but for now, a shared bedroom is the best that we can manage. We have also unlocked the ability to make a grave for when people die. So and people do not like to be to see dead bodies, so definitely bury them. And I'm going to stick the grave way over here. We also unlocked a compost, so that's spoiled food and animal manure and the like. I'll stick one of those down as well. So I have a lot of tasks queued up right now. And then we have a corpse stockpile. Corpse stockpile is more for your butchery than anything else. So here's my little corpse stockpile. And I'm not going to include human in it. But as we hunt, we'll be able to include fox and bunnies and things. So building a sackcloth bottom and a sackcloth shirt allows us to unlock additional textile patterns, but scrolling over this, as you can see, there's a big mood penalty to wearing these. They're itchy and ugly. So I have to make them in order to unlock other types of clothing, but I might not want to wear them typically, unless I'm too cold and I need it to survive. So I'm also going to put a another straw door at the bottom of the bedroom. And then I'm going to put straw windows, one here, and then here, 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 and here. Oops, not there. There we go. And then the priority of this build task for the daub walls is going to be up 6. One higher than the 5. Is there stuff that persistently comes to kill us, like in RimWorld? No. There's no concept of, like, raiders or just starvation, really, would be it. Then I'm also going to use the clear all zone to completely clear out the building area as well, so that we can build freely. We also unlocked rock floors. So rock floors have a flammability of none. And I'm going to stick... Oh, that's not rock floor. That's rock wall. I'm going to stick rock floors, stone floors here. Where my heating hearths will be. So we do not set fires. And then you'll see this area start to get cleared. And also to set up the daub walls, which don't look amazing, but they're good for now. We also have a clothing basket to queue up. And now that we have a sackcloth bottom and shirt, I have a sackcloth tunic and a sackcloth hat to make as well. Make those to unlock additional patterns. And then we also have a clothing zone that I can put down to contain clothing, but ideally they would use the clothing basket instead. Alright, if we're making a whole lot of daub stuff, we are definitely going to want additional clay. So I'll queue up a larger swath of clay to be dug out of the riverbank, or lake bank. Callie the King! Thank you for the resub, and welcome. And then with all these, the building construction that we have, I'm also going to clear out some additional reeds, because we need a whole lot of straw. And we can get straw from processing hay, but it's way faster to just cut the reeds. So, as I said earlier, grass can turn into straw through use of the thresher, but reeds are cut immediately straight to straw. So there's a lot less processing involved. And now the sackcloth cloak. The cloak gives the most heat, but is also very miserable to wear. If you don't like the fact that someone is wearing something, you can just go to their person and click it to have them drop it. Because sometimes you will find that your family members will wear sackcloth even if they're not too cold, and they're miserable and pissing and moaning. And it would be so much better if they didn't have that on, and you can just force them to drop it. In fact, I could also click on it here, like these sackcloth stuff, and just hit X to destroy it. And that gives me straw back, which I'm going to be using to build my home, because I honestly don't care too much for sackcloth. I'm only making it to unlock other patterns. So here's the tunic and the hat, and I'm just destroying it so that we can get the straw back. I think the grave... Nope, the grave is not done yet. The grave requires twine and sack, because we just stick bodies in like that. And it also looks like I am out of sticks. So the daub stuff does require a lot of sticks. One way to get a lot of sticks is to cut down trees. So here's a tree. When we cut it down, we get 5 logs and 20 branches, or not sticks, but branches. And then if I want even more wood, we could then clear the stump for another 10 logs, which, as you can see, I'm doing now. Equinoxter, thank you for the resub. One less craft beer for me and a sub for the streamer. Well, thank you. I'll drink to that. One Scottish ale for me, and one fewer for thee. So if I go to the environment overlay, the environment just shows you how pretty something is. So obviously you can see the poop holes very easily. And then things that are kind of nice, like the straw door, increase the environment. People like to be in fancy rooms when possible, so build accordingly. There's also some other overlays over here. So this is the growth overlay. So another pretty easy indicator of where we've pooped. You've got the water overlay. Eventually you're able, once you can make clay ceramic jugs, you can water your crops. But when it rains, it waters it for you. And then there's the fertilizer overlay. And then the last overlay is just the paths. So the typical walking paths, which can give you an idea, looking at their desire path, of where to put your pathing. Now, all of the stuff here, all this layout here, is all temporary. Obviously, I am not planning on crafting out in the open, as you see here. So I wouldn't build paths according to this setup, because nobody is, my work zones aren't just going to be like strewn about the riverside or the lakeside. They're all temporary. Okay. I'm also going to be moving the beds into where the bedroom's going to go. Let's see what we unlocked. So we unlocked the ability to plant trees. It is pretty wise to plant trees as you cut them, as I said earlier. Definitely put back what you take. So I'll put some trees down. We did get a log pile. So a log pile allows you to store logs more efficiently. And then log walls, which just cost logs, and they have flammability of medium, unlike the dub walls of low. And then a stone roof. So a stone roof span is only 2. So you can't have an overhang of stone roof nearly as far as you can have an overlay of like wood or hay. Poop pebbles. Oh, nice. Not raisins is the tooltip. Good to know. Oh, here's Cypher planting all those trees. She's planting trees kind of faster than I thought she would, so I'm going to actually plant some more. I'm going to overplant trees here so that I have plenty of timber for future. Because right now, my need for logs is pretty low, but later that's going to change. And if she isn't too busy, I'll queue up some additional trees. Given the layout of the terrain here, it looks like growing and building into this open field is going to be a lot easier than building into a forest. So I'm keeping that in mind. I also don't have a lot of sticks. I'm about to run out of, branches actually. I'm about to run out of branches, so I'm going to do another collection of branches. And trees aren't a renewable source of branches. You collect them, and then you have to either cut the trees down or travel to further out trees for additional branches. So there's somewhat of a finite amount of them, and keep that in mind. Look at her go. She's thirsty and bored, but she's still happy to work. A lot of them are thirsty. Well, the shared bedroom is coming together. So here is a new poll about what to build after I'm done with the shared bedroom. I'm also going to stick hay roofs over this thing for now. And then I'm going to put a stone roof over where the hearth is going to go. Hey, Kitchen Head. It has been a while. Welcome. Oh, and I need more clay. Look at us go far and wide. And this is day 2. I don't know, 2 days, getting like a third of a house, third of a bedroom going together. It's not bad at all. These Scots should be proud. Oh, we unlocked Dump. So Dump unlocks once you have things to dump, spoiled food and the like. So I'm going to stick a dump here. I don't really care where it goes. There's generally not a lot of stuff to dump, but that probably indicated that we have spoiled berries or meat or something like that. So here's the idea tree. So if you look at the idea tree, you can also see what you've missed. So for instance, I don't have a straw window yet, so I don't have the ability to make a vent, and whatever there comes after. I also haven't processed oat grain or flaxseed, so that keeps... I know it's locked behind that. It's being able to plant oats and flax, but if I wanted stuff like that, all I'd have to do is get 50 of it. So like, oh, well, that's hayseed. So flaxseed, if I go up to 50, you know, I'll process flax sheafs, which produce flax stems and flax seed. In order to do that, we would need to cut some flax. Cut me some flax, man. So let's do that, just to unlock that idea. So there's a little flax, and I don't see any other flax close by. Here? I guess under this tree is flax. Man, flax is hard to find. Whose bed hadn't gotten moved? I think we've uninstalled one of the sleeping beds and never reinstalled it. And Cypher drew short straw and was last to get to the bed. You can assign beds to people. Oh yeah, there's the sleep mat. You can assign beds to people, but right now I don't really care where they sleep. But here's a sleep zone for you, Cypher. Because that sleep mat never got installed. And once it's nighttime, the speed goes up by a lot if you fast forward. So this bed here is going to be for Scorpius. So in order to set owner, I can click this and toggle ownership of this bed. And you can own beds and toilets and things like that. I'm setting it there because that spot is more likely to be illuminated, as you will see. And he's afraid of the dark. There we go. I have now unlocked flaxseed. We're processing flax. So I can say, oh, I want up to 50 flaxseed. And let's say up to 50 hayseed. I have 700 of it, so that's not much of an issue. And you can use like things like hayseed in order to feed livestock. Or to grow grass. They're used for both. You can think of it as grass seed or chicken feed. Works both ways. Tangier, thanks for gifting out a sub to Waffle Fortress. And you guys want a kitchen next. Build a shared bedroom and then a kitchen. So the kitchen's going to go here. In this spot. I'm going to wait for them to build the shared bedroom first before jumping to the kitchen, though. So I don't overtax them. And as you can see, my tasks lists are now well into the 100 range. I have a lot of tasks queued up. And that's super, super typical. But I do find it useful to look at the tasks and then make sure that they're not things that you need to do. So for instance, taking a look, I probably don't need as much straw as I currently have queued up, so I'm going to reduce the amount of straw clearing. I'm going to still clear this section, but not maybe this section over on the west bank. And then this little warning here is that I'm out of flax, so I can't thresh more sheafs. So if I want I wanted to, I could either find more flax to thresh, or just to cancel that queue for the little warning to go away. And if you right-click it, it will go away temporarily. Not permanently, but at least it doesn't pop up on you. This is one giant grass field. I don't see any flax in this. It's just grass all the way down. It's probably very pretty. Here's some flax. And then I can also start clearing these oats as well. Wild crops grow more slowly than cultivated crops. So here's oat grain, and we'll get up to 50 oat grain. And then I also now have enough flax to do flax retting, which allows you to soften the flax in order to get it ready for clothing. So I'll put some flax retting spots here. And they're passive workstations that work over time. Oh, and look at this. We now have a full house thing here, I guess. Still waiting on the roof, but it is taking shape. All right, next we have a hide rack. So it dries hides for clothing. And what other concepts have we unlocked here? Snare kit. So I can make a snare kit and a bow. I'll make up to 2 bows. And a snare kit allows you to snare rabbits. So there's a bit of a weird mechanic here where rabbits go into these little rabbit holes, and all the rabbit holes are interconnected with one another, and they can like wormhole through them, which is odd. But you can place snare kits next to rabbit holes to try to ensnare the rabbits for a source of food. And then I've also unlocked the stuff at the kiln as well. So the kiln here that we just made can make clay bricks. I'll cue that into, let's say, 25. It can make clay tiles. Cue that into 25. And then clay jugs, which is used to transport water. And that also gives you clay jug pallets, or pallets to hold your water. Do you have to worry about disease? No. Your animals can actually be diseased, but it's not something that you have to worry about. It's pretty rare that you succumb to disease like that, or anything succumbs to the disease like that. So there we go, oats. I can now till soil and plant oats. Sow my wild oats. Alright, I do want this shared bedroom built sooner than later, so I am going to prioritize it over other things. But let's go ahead and try to use our first snare. So I'm going to stick a snare next to this rabbit hole. And we're also making a bow. And I will hunt 1 rabbit. Or let's hunt a fox. Why not? So I just unlocked hunting wild animals and planting flax, because we now have enough flax seed to unlock that. So hunting wild animals, one of the ways to find wild animals kind of relatively easily, maybe not in the summer, is to click the temperature overlay. Because kind of like Aliens vs. Predators, the body temperature of the animals will highlight them amongst a cooler backdrop, like background radiation or background heat. So that makes it pretty easy to find animals. Ooh, I need more hay. I am out of hay for the thresher. Okay. So let's gather the grass that's around the kitchen, because we know that we're building a kitchen next, so I might as well clear this area and free it up. Why is it strange that they can worm through it? Because they worm through it instantly. They teleport through it. It's not like a natural Like they crawl through it, they pop in one and pop out the other. Like Star Trek Beam Me Up Scotty. That's why it's weird. I'm also going to replant some of the reeds on the shoreline now that we've harvested it, and that will be good for next season. We also have our first butcher here, which then will unlock cooked meat. I'm just going to cook meat until 1,000. All the meat that we butcher, I'm going to cook for now. And then it's also warning me that I don't have enough. I don't have enough logs, so I'm gonna cut down some trees here. We need the logs for compost, pallet, and a log pile. Ooh, I unlocked Start Fire. A great way to clear fields and create fertile soil. Also loves to get out of control and firefighting. Used to prioritize certain fire tiles first from fighting fires. Taking a look at ideas of what's gotten left behind. So mushroom racks. I haven't collected 50 mushrooms for a mushroom rack. A mushroom rack allows you to dry out mushrooms so they keep better. So let's go ahead and gather some mushrooms. Mushrooms typically are in old growth forests. So there's a gather mushroom zone, and that should unlock the mushroom rack for us. I'm trying not to leave anything behind. And then we also need a straw window built so that we can build a vent, a cured flax stem from the flax redding. So for that, let's get one of the flax reddings up. High priority. And then for the straw window, get that really high up as well. That way we can queue it up and unlock some other options. I'm going to make some fewer jugs so that we can diversify with some bricks and tiles. I don't want to queue too many jugs up and then not have the ability to do other projects. You know, trying to manage the task list, in other words. Now with roofs auto, as you zoom out, it will show the roof, and as you zoom in, it will hide it. And then you can do roofs on all the time. And here you can see our bedroom, and it's straw roof over most of it, and a stone roof over where the fireplace is going to go. And then I'm just going to keep roofs off for now. So flax redding allows you to process the flax sheafs, or the flax stems, these, in the redder for clothing. There we go. I must have gotten the straw window because I just unlocked the vent. So let's build a vent. I'm going to put a vent right next to the door there. And that allows for a transfer of heat between rooms. I think it's actually somewhat of a perfect transfer. It's not all that realistic, but works for me. Certainly works for me. And here comes nightfall. Don't quite have a roofed up bedroom. We're working on it. Glitch has been doing a pretty good job of getting the roof on. As you can see. But it takes a lot of material. In this game, can you cook in fireplaces? You can. Oh, we must have gotten our first batch of brick. So the brick gives us the ability to make a bloomery, which processes ores. So I'll put a bloomery here. And then I'm also going to stick a flammability blocker around the bloomery so the bloomery doesn't, set everything on fire. And then that also unlocked a masonry place to keep tiles and bricks. And it unlocked brick floors, which are pretty, with a lot of speed bonus. And brick walls, which are pretty. Some of the prettiest walls, in fact, is brick. Now, in this game, it allows you to actually just hot swap walls. So if I wanted to switch the daub walls to brick walls, I could just drag right over the daub walls and it will replace without having to destroy it, which is very, very convenient. What was that noise? Oh, Callie the King, thank you for the tip. That's what it was. Cheers. At least Cypher's not going to have to sleep on the floor outside. Well, okay, yes, but you'll have a bed this time. All right, looking good. Still sleeping outside, but it's not so bad. It's getting better. How are my animals doing? Oh, pregnancy. We don't have animal bedding at the moment, so during the night when they want to be asleep somewhere, they're being neglected, which lowers their care a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, now it's raining on them. Now it's going to be real bad. Care is going down because needs bed -3, light rain -2, well fed and base change +2 and 2, so a net of -1. Animals don't like to be in the rain, in other words. But nor do we, and we're sleeping in the light rain now as well. Moist sleep sucks. We just unlocked a vacancy sign. So a vacancy sign allows travelers in around your territory to inform them that you have a warm bed and food for them. It allows you to rent out rooms to guests as if you're running an inn. I'm not going to worry about building this just yet, but I will queue it up. And then I'm just going to lower the priority down to dismally low so that we just kind of ignore it for a while. Because I'm in not really a condition to care for others. I can barely care for myself as I'm running around in my undies, sleeping in the rain. It's not the time to open an inn. Hopefully soon, but not quite yet. Another thing, because this is the first rain, you'll notice a ton of workplaces are disabled. So the benefits of a meat rack, gone. The benefits of a grain pallet, gone. The thresher, unworkable. The benefits of a serving basket, gone. The campfire, done. These things don't work in rain, which is the reason to get them inside if you can. So that you aren't penalized, and progress doesn't come to a halt. So if we take a look at the task list, all of the tasks that require, like crafting, for instance, are basically disabled right now because we don't work in rain. So nobody can do it. Nobody's going to be out there doing it. What I will do, though, is to queue up the kitchen. So a kitchen, unlike the bedroom, is an area that I'm going to want to set up a light source for. That way we can work. So if we take a look at the ideas here, what I'm going to want to be placing down is a standing torch, which is in basic needs a standing torch. And I'm going to put a standing torch in the center of the kitchen. And then that makes a flammable blocker zone like that, or actually higher. Let's combine those two zones. There. And there's a lot of things that you put in a kitchen. So kitchens actually have to be pretty large in this game. So I'm going to have a kitchen, a fairly expansive kitchen. And I wanted to get it very close to this mountain here because I'm going to be using this mountain to keep my food cold. So I'll stick the kitchen like this. I mine 2 sections into the mountain out. And we'll be able to put all of the things that process food in here, probably. I might have to expand it, we'll see. But yep, that is... Ooh, there is a random tree there. That is first draft of my kitchen. Still working on the bedroom here. It's not fully roofed up yet. And some of the bedroom is requiring large rocks, and we're kind of running low on large rocks, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Make sure we have enough. And we have made our first batch of tile. So with tiles, that gives us the ability to make tiled floors. Same speed bonus of a brick floor, but they only work indoors. They're not great outdoors. They don't have some sort of environment bonus when placed outside. And I want my clay bricks up to 50. 50 is going to allow me to make a bloomery, which will allow me to process metals. That's a big step. Where's my iron ore? Ah, here it is. Stick the iron ore next to the bloomery as well. I'm dropping stuff haphazardly. This is not where it's going to end up permanently. It's just haphazard for now as I blitz to put a building together. So in this building, speaking of which, let's put some windows in. So I'm going to put west-facing, maybe east-facing and west-facing windows. And then we're also going to want another door. I'm going to stick a door here and stick one here. So this door is going to lead to what is probably going to be farmland. This door will lead to some sort of root cellar, pantry area. And then I can also stick a door on the west side as well to lead to fishing or eel traps or other food sources. Am I putting a standard fireplace in the bedroom? What I'm going to be putting in the bedroom, I haven't unlocked yet. Let's see if I can see it. No, I can't even see it on the idea board yet. But we'll get there. Just some advanced planning. We're almost done roofing it up, which means we get to sleep dry tonight. This indicator is I'm out of large rocks, so I'll probably end up getting the rocks I need just by gathering the ones that are in the way of the kitchen. But there's always obviously more rocks if I need them. I just don't want to overgather. I only want to gather exactly the amount that I need. And I unlock the ability to get dried mushrooms. So all of my mushrooms are going to say, please dry. I'm also going to start moving food-related things into the kitchen area. I'm not quite ready to mark down that I have successfully built a bedroom yet. It's still missing parts of its roof and floors. Oh, and here's the jug pallet. So the jug pallet's going to go in here as well. And I'll probably end up moving that around as well and even building multiples. I also find that putting the branch pile in the kitchen is kind of useful because the branch pile allows you to stockpile fuel for kitchen fires and the like, which is kind of handy. Okay, this is enclosed. So if we zoom out here, you can see that the bedroom has a roof over all of it, a straw hay roof over the center, and then a fireproof roof over where the fire source will be. So the bedroom is done. Now it's building a kitchen. Build a kitchen. Oh, yes. Oh, here's some rotted eel. Didn't process that in time. And unlocked a hide shelf to keep dried hides. Putting it outside is probably counterproductive, but we don't have workstation yet. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Don't clear the bushes, thank you. Gather the berries instead. What I meant to do is clear stumps for more wood. All right, raising the priority of the kitchen build now. Oh, and we have fur cloaks. So now that we're into fur, fur keeps you a lot warmer than sackcloth. It's harder to come by because it requires dry hide. It still has a mood penalty, but fur cloaks keep you very warm. 1600 warmth for minus 400 mood. Probably the best ratio, as you can see, of all of these items. I'm still going to make a fur tunic, hat, and cloak. Do the full set. But happy that I got there. Happy that I'm starting to unlock that stuff. And the bloomery is done, which gives me the ability to make iron ingots. So I'm going to make up to 15 iron ingots in the bloomery. And that also means that I need to go and mine some additional iron. So I'm going to mine out these sections of this hill side that has iron in them. As I mentioned before, there is iron ore and then there is gold ore. Gold ore isn't exactly used, so you can collect it, but I don't think it really serves a purpose yet. But iron is very essential. And also, there's a finite amount of iron, unlike things like clay, which you can always dig up, or things like grass, which you can always regrow, or timber. There's a very finite amount of iron on the map. It's a lot of iron, and it will get you pretty far. But with that said, I do find it a very smart idea, when possible, to be able to buy iron ore. Do it. Because there is a finite amount of it, and you're going to want it. I promise you. All right, I have to, at this point, also decide on where my fire area pit is going to go. And I'm going to put it here. Now, what I'm doing right now is not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway, which is to designate the area with stone. So it looks different. Flammability really just applies to the area not having items in it and things, but better safe than sorry. Oh, and I need more clay. Always clay. Clay is one of those that you almost can't get enough of. It's constant, like, more clay, please. Hey, buddy. Okay, we have unlocked a meat smoker and a timbery. So timbery allows you to process wood into planks. And then a meat smoker allows you to smoke meat so that you can dry it out and have it keep. And then building the vent also gives us a fireproof vent. It's not something I find particularly needed really ever, because your vents probably shouldn't be right in front of a fire, but if you need a fireproof vent, there it is. Taking a look at the ideas here. What have I missed? Making sure that I don't have holes. So berry bushes, because I haven't gathered 100 berries. I can get that pretty easily. So let me just gather a few extra berries and unlock the I can plant my own berry bush queue. Man, there's not a lot of berries nearby. Oh, there's a ton over here. There we go. All right, what other ideas have I missed? Gong. So I need a composter to be able to do a gong place, which stores manure, which also then unlocks fertilizer and a manure basket. And the job board requires the vacancy sign, as does the trade post. So, composter, you're next, and vacancy sign, you're actually going up. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be renting bedrooms out to people. But the vacancy sign unlocks the trade place, which can be pretty useful to obtain resources that you desperately need early on. So I don't care for the vacancy sign, but we can hide it so that we don't rent places out and instead use the trade place. Wow, everyone's going ham on the clay. I'm excited for people to sleep inside for once to have that mood bonus. So if we take a look at like shield here, you can see the mood is low. They're hungry, they're tired. You know, they're could be doing them better. Scorpius is absolutely miserable. But that's mostly just child labor. Children don't like to work. Work ethic's terrible. And we are eating almost all the berries that we have. It's going to be challenging to keep us fed. We're very low. So I think tomorrow I will do a little bit of hunting to raise our food up to a more acceptable level. You can always, and I'm not planning on doing this because I don't think it's necessary, you can always butcher your farm animals as well if you're really desperate. But I'm definitely not desperate like that. So if you take a look here, we have a huge room. So a big mood bonus for sleeping in a large room. And then we're not sleeping outdoors. So that really helps the mood here, as you can see. So people's moods here are really going up now with the proper bedroom. And Project Kitchen is next. Day 5. We're getting the composter together and the vacancy sign so I can unlock some more stuff. How am I finding Clanfolk? I like it. Okay, we are officially out of food. We have days of food of 0. So we'll be remedying that pretty soon. Gong place, I'll just put here. I don't really care. I'll move it around later. And then we also have the concept of a manure basket, which is a craftable. So I'll make one of those. I also see that I don't have enough sticks. One of the things that we can do to remedy the whole lack of sticks is to get a timbery up. Because a timbery will allow you to cut trees, logs, into sticks. Which could be very useful when you're needing fuel or building material. And then I'm going to queue up a whole bunch of bunny to kill. And they're bunny holes. Oddly enough, you can just delete bunny holes, like, if you want. So I'm going to delete a whole bunch of bunny holes here so they can't escape me. There. Nuking the holes. Thank you for tuning in to Clanfolk, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rodamont.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.